maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, oh, right, wow, today is, hang on, let me just double check what the date is. Where's the date? Where's the date? It's the 11th of June today. It's 11th of June, it's Sunday. So this is the week before you're seeing it. So today, yeah, I've actually written out a kind of script. It's like a loose script of what I want to cover today. I'm hoping that this is gonna be okay and you're gonna understand it. Hi Luna. Hi. Have you come to see me? Oh hey. So she's just had dinner, so she's probably just gonna chill on the bed now. Yes. Oh yes. Lovely. So hi guys, thanks for joining me again. I'm going to put my phone on silent. Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. Today I've written out my script because this is a bit of a chunky subject and I don't really want to give you too much to digest. So I'm just going to talk you through how I put myself in, you know, the driver's seat of my life. So here we go. So when I was young, I lived at home with my mum and my brothers. I have 3 brothers and I was a feisty kid. We always used to have play fights and everything when we were kids, and you know, it was a really great childhood. I basically lost my feistiness when I was at school because I got bullied and it was not a very nice thing to go through. And essentially people didn't like me because I wasn't like everybody else. I was different and people don't like different. So I was ostracised, I was pushed out, I was not like one of the cool kids, I was not in the popular group. I was the recluse. I basically only had a couple of friends at school and most of the time I spent on my own because it was easier. But after school, when I started to get into the real world and I had my first jobs and, you know, getting to know different people outside of my normal life, which was at school and at home, I soon started to be taken advantage of. And I was a good person and all I wanted to do was help people, and I had people use me for, you know, even if it was just a lift somewhere, because I would never ask for petrol money because I thought it was rude. I don't know, don't even. I ask now, believe me. But I was taken advantage of, and there was so many people that that did that. You know, it wasn't just about the petrol money, it was about morals, and you know, a lot of people took advantage of my morals and I was left depleted. I felt like I had lost everything. I was just like, oh my god, I've been putting all my time into these other people and making sure that everybody else is happy and is, you know, getting on, and you know, there's no rifts going on. You know, and when there was rifts going on, I was tackling them and I was dealing with them, and I was putting so much out there and I wasn't putting anything into myself, and I was just wasting away. This was when my anorexia sort of took the lead in my life, and I forgot about me, forgot about eating, forgot about drinking, forgot about everything. I forgot about self-care, I forgot about looking after me and what I want and my needs, you know. So I went through it and I just lost everything in the sense that I couldn't feel anything. I was numb to the core and I didn't care about anything. I hated the world and everything in it, and at that point in my life I felt like nothing else was going to matter, like nothing was going to come into my life and make me go, oh my god, I care about life now. No, I just didn't see it happening. I didn't see anything outside of this just depressive bubble that was just numb and empty. It was horrible. Really was. Really was. Glad I'm here now, that's for sure. Now the change came when I was about, oh god, I must have been about 24, and I had a really messy breakup with my ex-boyfriend, and it was just horrific. I mean, I went through probably the worst year of my life prior to the breakup, and it was just an awful time. It was just really horrible. He made me feel like I was completely worthless. But on the inside, I knew I was worth something. It didn't even matter if it was just a grain of rice. Like, I knew I was worth something, and I just knew that I didn't deserve this sort of treatment. So I walked away. I walked away with my head held high, and I knew that I was doing that for myself because I couldn't be treated like that anymore. It was just a real horrific time. I was treated really badly, and I didn't feel like I had the respect that I deserved. And and I just walked out. I'd given up. I'd literally had enough, and I'd got to that point again where I was just like seriously numb. Like, I just don't care about anything. So I literally just walked out, and I was like, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm just going. Like, I need to look after me. Like, what? It was just, yeah, not going there. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. So anyway, at that point in my life, I was just consumed by everything, and I knew that I needed to do something for me that wasn't exercise. It wasn't making sure I eat. It wasn't making sure I have a drink. You know, it wasn't the usual stuff that is just to make you, you know, stay alive, really. I wanted something that was more, that was something deeper than that, that was going to help me cleanse my soul. And when I was thinking about that, I throughout this whole process of me being in the dumps and everything, my solace was going out with my camera. And I would take that little camera out everywhere. My nan got it for my birthday, and it was great. And I literally just walked around the village taking pictures. I'd have my headphones on, completely in my own little world, and I would just go and take pictures of, you know, all the little details in life and nature and, you know, all sorts of stuff. Here's a load of photos if you want to see. If not, skip ahead. So whilst I was doing that, I realised that there's more to this life than just going to a crappy office job that I really didn't have my heart and soul in, and I was itching to do something creative. So I was just, you know, I just felt shit. I just felt shit. So I needed to do this, and I decided to go to college. I was 25, or approaching 25, when I decided that this was something that I wanted to do. Now, as you do when you're deciding some, you know, life change or, you know, something like this, you want to talk to your peers, you want to talk to your family, you want to talk to your friends, and you want to understand what their viewpoints are on it, and maybe they've got some insights that might help you. Now, when I went and told people, there was a lot of people that were, you know, really supportive, and honestly, I thank them people because they helped me to see through the bullshit. But there was a few people that made me, or tried, I'm going to use that word, they tried to make me feel small about making this decision to jack in my, you know, customer service manager job to go and pursue a completely different career within photography. And it was a shock to their systems, and they didn't understand that this is actually a thing. You can do it. You know, you can just jack in your job and jack in your career and go and try something new. Life is about living, so there's no real rules. It's just go and do what you want to do that's going to make you happy, within reason, guys, within reason. But that's what I had in my head. I was like, I'm doing it because I want to do it. Like, you know, I'm going to put my heart and soul into this, and it's going to be something that I really, really, really want to learn. So I went against everybody that was saying, oh, it's such a stupid idea, like, why are you doing that? You've got a decent job, like, come on, this is stupid. I had so much of that, and I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with it. Just not dealing with it. I'm just going to go and do what makes my heart happy and makes my soul happy, and that is going to college to study photography. So up yours, I'm off, I'm doing it. And I was so firm in this. Now, I had been going through years and years and years of just listening to other people, listening to other people's advice and thinking that the advice was genuine, and that the advice wasn't out of jealousy, and that it wasn't out of malice, and it wasn't out of anything that's like, you know, just like passive aggression. I didn't realise that those sorts of things really existed. So whilst I was going through all of that, and I was listening to these people that were giving me advice based on their passive aggressiveness, I sort of started to learn the ways that people would do this, and I started to pick up when people would do this and why they would do it, and how their tone is different to somebody that is naturally giving you heartfelt advice. So I became an expert. At understanding who was giving me good advice and who was giving me malice advice. And I started to separate it. So when all of this happened and I had the breakup and I decided to go back to college, I had got to that point where I realised when people were speaking out of turn, basically, and when they were just feeding you information that was ultimately trying to manipulate you into doing something that, you know, you don't want to do, basically. So I've become very, very good at dialing into this and actually seeing what is going on underneath. So because of that, I just went for it. I just thought, you know what, I don't really care. I don't really care what you think, because this is my life and I am taking control. Now, it's very sad, really, that those people can't take control of their own lives to do what they want to do, because ultimately that's where it's coming from. The way that they're putting their shit on me and making me feel like shit, or trying to make me feel like shit, is all because they don't know how to do what I'm doing. It's really sad, really, if you think about it like that. It really is. Like, I just feel sorry for people like that. Like, if you haven't got a nice thing to say, my nan always used to say this, right? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, right? Because you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Why? Why would you go out of your way to make somebody feel shit about something that they have, like, built up and thought about and really delved into and made sure it's the right decision? Why are you going to make them feel bad? Like, it's just not nice. Just don't do it. Like, if you ain't happy with it, if you're jealous about it, look at yourself in the mirror and decide what you need to do to stop that from happening. You know, you're obviously not happy in your life, so, you know, have a look at yourself, see what you need to change, and do the change. Make the change. It's the only way to get better, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been there, I've been that person, I've been the person that stands there and says, oh, you don't want to do that. If you do that, then meh. I've been that person. I know what it's like, but I can sit here and I can admit it, and I can say, do you know what? I don't want to be that person. So I'm changing it. And I'm making myself realise that people only do stuff like that when they're not whole themselves, right? That's how I see it. So guys, I started college, and guys, it was probably the most awakening year of my life. I had the most amazing time. There was such incredible people on that course with me, and we were a team. We were, you know, we had our ups and downs, you know, and all of that, but it was emotional and it was amazing. It was heartfelt, and everybody had something to bring to the table. We all were just an incredible creative bunch. We still are. What am I talking about? We still are. We're such an incredible bunch, and it's just, oh fuck, guys, honestly, I am so blessed to have known and have worked with these people, because they're just an inspiration. They really are some incredible people. But whilst I was there, I was going through what I like to call a glow up. So I had, you know, it was kind of like out with the old, in with the new. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And I was starting to fill my boots and, you know, get comfortable in them. So it was a good time. You know, I had shit to deal with. I still had stuff to process and things that had happened. I needed to understand what had happened, why it had happened, and, you know, and kind of put it to bed and just understand that, okay, it's in the past. And I've done what I need to do now to make my future as bright as possible. So I was like, right, let's go then, right? I was like, fucking yes, come on. I was having a party, mate, having a party. So, my first thing here was I desperately didn't want a boyfriend like my ex, because I just knew that this was going to be a problem for me. I just knew that if I ever got into a relationship with somebody like him again, it was just going to destroy me. So I knew from that moment that I needed somebody of a better caliber. So I set my boundaries, guys. I started to understand what I really wanted from a man in my life, you know, and it was ultimately just an equal, just somebody who was going to treat me with respect, have my back, support me, be my cheerleader, and let me cheerlead them, let me look after them. I want a 50-50 relationship. I know that's not, you know, we give 70-30 when we need to, we give the other half, you know, whatever, but we work together and we build a life together for each other. That's what I wanted. That was, you know, the ideal was, that was what I wanted, and I would be happy. And it's really funny because at this point I was I was in a really sort of shit place, but I knew what I wanted, and I set my boundaries in that time because I knew that it was fresh. Everything that had happened to me was fresh, and I knew what had happened and how it had gone wrong. I was going through counselling, so my counsellor was helping me with all of my processing and understanding. So she gave me the tools that I needed to ultimately set those boundaries in place and to understand what it is that I actually want to get out of life. And one of the things was to go to Australia. Now, when I started organising this, I hadn't even really started organising it. I just set up a bucket list and I wrote down all of the different things that I wanted to do whilst I was out there. And I was going to do a year at college, and then after that I was going to work my arse off, save as much money as possible, and then the year after that I was going to fuck off to Australia and see where it took me. Well, plans changed, guys. Plans changed. One of my friends, it's actually funny how this sort of worked out, but on Facebook, guys, one of my friends posted up a picture of a derelict railway tunnel in Victoria in Australia. And when she posted it up, I commented on there and I was like, oh my God, I've got to add it to the bucket list. So I did, and I was like, oh my God, it's just beautiful. Like, it looks amazing. I'll have to go. And this guy, just commented and he said, I've been, and here's some photos. And then we got talking over Messenger and he was sending me more photos of his trip to Australia. And yeah, we ended up meeting, and we went out for, oh my God, guys, I've got to tell you this now because this is just, I love this story. I love this story. So I was at my cousin's house and I was having a bit of an emotional afternoon, but I was telling her about what had, you know, been going on in my life and, you know, all of that. And I told her about Dan, my man. And at the time he wasn't my man, okay, let's just cut that right. So I told him about Dan, who had messaged me on Facebook after this post, and that we were getting on really well and he seemed like a really nice guy, and that I kind of wanted to meet him, but I was like really nervous about it. Anyway, my cousin was like, just fucking message him. Just message him and just say, like, do you want to drink or something? Or do you want to go out or whatever? And I was like, really? I was like, don't know, should I? And she basically made me do it. She was like, no, you're doing it, just do it, just fucking do it, right? So I was, honestly, I was pacing, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I sent the message, and again I was pacing and pacing and pacing, and I sent the message probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was round her house for like another couple of hours, and I still didn't get a reply, and I was like, oh my god, guys, what have I done? Like, what have I done? And then probably about 20 minutes later, I got a message from him, and he was saying, oh, I'm really sorry, I don't have access to my phone at work, but yeah, we can hang out, let's hang out. He said that he needed to go home and get showered and everything, and then we would meet up. So he came and picked me up in his Subaru, which I was like, I was smitten, let's be honest, right? I was smitten straight away just by the car. But anyway, so I got in the car and we went out, and we literally went to the services. He had a KFC, I had a coffee, and oh, actually no, I think I had a cup of tea. And then he took me out for a drive in his car, and again, proper smitten, guys, proper smitten. And we basically spent the whole evening like just staring at the stars, talking, like learning about each other and everything. And guys, the rest is history. We're now living together. We've got a little puppy together who's asleep, so I don't want to wake her up, and I think I just did. And yeah, we're just living our best lives. And honestly, this guy is everything that I set in my boundaries. He's everything. Literally everything. He respects me, he looks after me, he supports me through everything that I'm doing. You know, even tonight, he was going to come home to pop his head in, and then he was going to go out with his mate, and he said, but it's okay if you're doing your camera stuff, you know, your vloggy stuff, then just carry on, like, it's not a problem. And I said, look, I'm really sorry, but I just, you know, I really want to see you, but I need to get on with this. So he's politely said, don't worry, it's okay, you're doing something you're passionate about, it's all right, like, we'll see each other later. So this is the kind of treatment I expect, like, I do. And I was never getting that before. I was never getting that ever before, you know. And since I changed my boundaries, I'm starting to receive that treatment, that people are giving me the respect that I deserve. And it's really nice, guys. It's really nice to feel like you've actually got control of that, of the way that people treat you. You know, if you stand up for yourself and go, no, I don't want to be treated like that, people are going to learn from that. People are going to understand that that's not how it goes. And when me and the other half have a disagreement, usually it's over something really petty, and it's not anything ridiculous. We never argue, and we talk about it. We talk about the issues. We talk about how can we resolve this? How can we do this in the best possible way? And it just works, guys. It works because we've both got those boundaries. We understand what each other's boundaries are as well. So it makes for the most beautiful relationship. It really does. So I am eternally grateful for the man I have chosen and who has chosen me. I'm really, really pleased that, yeah, we're together. It's good fun. So guys, that's like a bit of a, you know, rundown of my life and bits and pieces and everything. But I just wanted to give you this story so that you can see that you don't necessarily have to have that, you know, oh, I believe in myself, and you've always believed in yourself. You don't have to be like that to decide one day to believe in yourself. And for me, I believed in myself, and then it was knocked out of me. It was completely knocked out of me. And then one day I just woke up and thought, no, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I've literally done nothing to deserve this kind of treatment. And I looked at my life and what I wanted to do, what actually was in my heart, what I really, really desperately wanted to do. And ultimately, I focused on that. And that led me on a journey to believe in myself and to realise that, yeah, I've got something. I'm not just you know, just another person. Like, we are all individuals. We all should be looking at ourselves that way, because we don't want to lose ourselves. We don't want to lose ourselves. Once you lose yourself, it's a hard road to come back from. And I just want to reassure you that even when you have been down that road and you are hauling it back, you can get there. You can get there, and you just have to remain positive that you will get there. It's hard today. It's hard today, and it'll probably be hard tomorrow, but you don't know until you get there. So just deal with today and then deal with tomorrow. But ultimately, keep yourself at the top of that pyramid and believe in yourself, okay? Promise me you're going to believe in yourself, right? Promise me. Good. Anyway, guys, I hope that was useful. I hope that was insightful. I hope that it helped you to get to know me a little bit better. And yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. There might be some helpful links down below. I haven't written the description yet. I have no idea what I'm going to title this or anything yet. So there might be links down in the description. But guys, if you've got any questions, please let me know. And I will see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.